Hello, 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 Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from the National Shit-Eating Museum. I don't know if you know there was such a place like this, but when you tangle with the Bard, they put a big pile of shit down on the White House lawn, and then you take people like Spanky and bring them up, and you shove their face in it and say, "See, I don't like bullies. Spanky, I don't like bullies." And so anyway, I told you yesterday I won an important lawsuit by stipulation. Most lawsuits don't go to trial. I've had to learn that. Most lawsuits do not go to trial. They usually go to agreement and stipulation after everyone's pissed on everyone long enough. And the one that pisses the longest and the most always wins. Now here's what I want to do. Celebrate. There's my happy dance again. Anyway, a comment came in on my show here that a gentleman said that I caved in. And he's never seen me naked, so I think he's talking about the lawsuit. I'm not sure. Here's the principle of age, experience, education, common sense, empathy, compassion, etc. There's a lot of people that we all want to just crush to the ground because of the things they've said and they've done. They're terrible, terrible people. But you know something? That doesn't have to make us terrible, terrible people. That is not necessarily what we have to do. And so this is the principle that I'm speaking to this morning, and that is, yeah, I had Spanky by the balls. Yeah, I had the University of Utah Medical Center nervous, real nervous. Everyone on the entire facility, everywhere, all over town, had my lawsuit. And they were saying, you know, we're fucked. He has found some things here that are true. We're fucked, and this is going to cost us a fortune. Well, caving in. I think that is probably a word for a younger man than me. The Bard don't cave in. The Bard don't cave in. But the Bard does think this. When you've hurt somebody and they're down on their knees, it isn't the Bard's style to kick them in the nuts. Go down on the ground and then put a bullet in their head. Sorry, that's for the rest of you. That's anger, that's vengeance, that is hostility, that is, I think, evil. I think is evil. Now, I know I don't fit in this world. I know that's what they would have done to me. No doubt in my mind. I know they would have found something, criminally charged me with something, and then I'd be down at the Kangaroo point of the mountain there. Now, I don't believe in letting other people determine my morality. You all know I'm an atheist. Jesus didn't do anything in this lawsuit. He never filled out one paper. I did it all. I had to go over there. I had to get dressed. I had to drive my car. Jesus was not at the wheel. So anyway, be that as maybe Jesus doesn't know law shit. I don't know. But every time I've prayed to him about anything else, he doesn't know about that either. So I'm me, and you are you. And I don't think it's right for humans to destroy other humans. Now, I am for the death penalty. I don't mean it that way. I mean emotionally and mentally, financially. I had a contractor that put a building up on one of my mobile homes in California. And he did it, and he didn't have a contractor's license. Well, he and I became engaged in he didn't do this or he did do that, I didn't pay enough, and it went back and forth. And so he put a lien on my property. Now, I went back in to the court and I said, this man doesn't have a contractor's license. He can't put a lien on anything. In fact, he's not even allowed to collect for that work in California. I don't have to pay it at all. I did pay him several thousand, but I didn't have to. So it went around and around, and we finally got into the final negotiations. We're all sitting at a table, and of course I'm defending myself as usual. Jesus wasn't there. I prayed and Jesus, would you come and help me? No, I'm not coming. Well, he didn't even do that. He just didn't do it. So anyway, we were negotiating, and his attorney kept taking him out of the room and talking to him, coming back. And finally, the attorney left his client out in the hall. He came in to talk to me. He says, Bard, he says, this guy is really screwed up. He's got a family. He's got several children. He couldn't afford a contractor's license. He did a stupid thing, put a lien on your property when he should have never done that. And he's outside right now crying. This is a big, burly, 6-foot-plus contractor. The attorney said to me, we're willing to settle for you just letting us off. I did. That's the principles I've always lived by, and I'm not inclined to change them unless you want to convert me to the Mormon Church again, and then I can lie, cheat, and steal, and screw anybody from above, behind, above, wherever. I don't do that, and I didn't want to do this in a situation. People do things, my friends, that are reflective of them. They may have been a molested child, they may have been abused, they may have had wives that were terrible to them, terrible health problems, financial bankruptcies, other things, assaults, jail. We don't know what other people bring to the table. All we know is what we bring to the table. Now I did a video, go find it, 1,700 whatever videos, go find it. Humility cannot be practiced except from a position of power. Humility cannot be practiced except from a position of power. If you're a homeless person and you're just begging for food out there, people aren't going to say you're humble. You're meek, you're mild, but you're not humble. The only person that can be humbled is a person who has power to destroy, to obliterate, and they have pity. I like to use the word mercy because I'm married to mercy. They have mercy upon their fellow creatures. I let the contractor go because I had mercy. There's been many other times in life with ex-wives and whatever that I've shown mercy. I don't do that for Jesus points, and I don't do that other than that's who I am. And I have no problem with somebody writing in and said, I would have driven him to the ground, bankrupt, take us home. Yeah, okay. But that's not me. The hospital changed its procedures and policies for poor people. The evil attorney erased all of the FICA scores on all three, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, of my wife and me, and he agreed to the settlement within 6 minutes. What does that tell you of his position? The university settled within 10 minutes. What does that tell you about what they thought they might be going through? So, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate all of you. I wish I could meet all of you. There's a couple of you. You would be trying my mercy. But anyway, to listen to me, to have any kind of a chuckle or a laugh just makes me fulfilled. Joyful, fulfilled. I've made no money. Zero. Now see, the Mormons are all falling on the ground going, he made something. He has anti-Mormon books. No, I don't. God dang. I just come on the show and tell the truth. I was a Mormon for 50 plus years. Active. Worked in the temple. Chairman, vice president. I'll get it. Dementia will come out. I was a counselor in the Elders Quorum. And I was in a stake presidency for a while as a clerk in Hartford, Connecticut. So I worked in the temple. I know Mormonism. I've got 14 kids. And if any of you out there have a baby, I'd take another one. I'd love to have a 1 or 2 year old baby, and Mercy and I would take it and take care of it. So anyway, I appreciate you. And if there's anything I can do for anyone out there, just ask me. Just ask me. And if I can, I will. If it's, you know, the more slit your throat, cut your heart out, cut your stomach, I go, well, you know, there's limits of my mercy. You can have my gut. Maybe I'll get a little skinnier, but not my heart, not my throat. Thank you. I'm sorry that Spanky had to learn a lesson at 62 years old. Age doesn't have anything to do with learning. You can have a 12-year-old that's bright as a god, and you can have a 70-year-old man as dumb as a rock. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your, I don't want to say support, because you don't support me. If all of you went home and got a life, I'd still do this, because I'll go back and look at myself and say, that's funny. That's funny. You don't think that's funny, you need to get out of here. So I do it for me. I do it for me. And if I've helped any of you along the way, God, that just makes me feel wonderful. And you know I don't erase comments. Even my crazy brother Randy has learned to restrain his comments to the subject matter and not go on a bipolar God tangent. You know, everybody's a God until they take meds who are bipolar. Then we become normal and go, well, shit, you know, I'm not a God. Anyway, thank you. And if I had a God, I'd say, Jesus, thank you. But you know what? Jesus never showed up in court. He never wrote a paper. He never did a deposition. He never did any of the interrogatories. He didn't tell Spanky to behave himself. The Bard had to do that. So you know what? I'm going to accept the glory, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the fame. That old 70-year-old man. Fame. You know, the policeman over when I was dealing Abigail's parking permit, he said, I think he was 30, 28, 30. Big guy, 6'7". He says, well, you're very famous, and you know it. I said, no, I don't. I don't know that I'm famous. He says, you're very famous. God damn, I don't want to be famous. Everybody knows me, and they're all got their big eyes out of how to screw me in my family. I just want to be a quiet, below-the-radar guy, but that's not the way I was created. My creation is the alien will come out of me if someone is bullying innocent, helpless people. So let's not take advantage of each other. Yeah, I made Spanky eat shit. Let me put in here Edward B Parry, Edward B Parry, Edward B Parry. Let the crawler pick it up, Edward B Parry. So it goes on the internet, and you know, I'm not going to make him put his face in it more than 3 times. Now some of you put his face in and let him suffocate in that pile of shit. I just dip it in. Spanky, behave. Spanky, behave. Spanky, behave. Now go wash your face and behave. That's all I do. So anyway, health and enable, marrow in the bones, strength and loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. I didn't use the true order of prayer, the pay, lay, and ale, and oh God, hear the words of my mouth 3 times, and I did okay. Thank you for your support and your help mentally. Don't send me any more money. I do not want checks. I do not want oranges, clothes. I want nothing. I want to be giving the truth freely. This bar's gone.